Good morning. I hope you're still with me regarding this creation story. I read over my notes again and I'm a little confused, but I think I got it. So we continue. I continue. Creation 101, day 2, the water cycle. What happened on day 2? And we said in the previous post that light, let there be light. Now, the atmosphere of the earth is made from opaque to translucent, so that light can now come through. But besides light, while light is essential for terrestrial life's survival, so is a stable and abundant water cycle. So Genesis 1 verses 6 to 8 says, "And God said, let there be space between the waters to separate the waters from water. And so it was. God made this space to separate the waters above from the waters below. And God called the space above sky. And the function of the sky, which is also known as the waters above, is to make available a water cycle in the form of rain, snow, and all forms of condensation and precipitation. So here, if we remember the first diagram of the spherical Earth's crust and core, surrounding it, water. Initially, that was all Earth was. And then the atmosphere. The atmosphere has been changed so that light can now come through. Now we have to do something with the waters that cover the earth's crust. So God separated the water. So the sky actually came out of that water world. And it's not just a regular sky like the sky. It's where the water cycle operates that is so essential for life on earth. You know, we will come to where the dry land is later on. You know, if you stay with me, we will get to there. And it's an exciting piece of document. We read until a few years ago, I couldn't explain the Genesis story. I know what happened. Let there be. How? You know, how do we figure it out from science, from what we see, what we know of the billions of years of change? How did it happen? How does anything fit into these few verses? You know, whether it's verse Genesis 1:1 or Genesis 1:2. The transition is so abrupt, so soon. What happened? Did anything happen? Yes, yes, and yes. So here if you stay with me, you know, it is exciting in the sense that, like I said, until a few years ago, I couldn't explain it. I just said, oh, the creation story is allegorical, it's poetical. Yeah, it's not meant to be scientific, but it is scientific. Look at it this way, and you see that the science fits into the biblical record. That's so exciting for me. So here we have the sky being formed. I'm not going to say created. It wasn't created. Just that the separation, creating a sky where the water cycle for life on Earth operates. A system whereby snow, ice, and liquid water freely cycle from one state to another, condensing on and evaporation from Earth's surface. And this would be ideal for life. Earth would require a cycle of condensation and precipitation, abundant but not too abundant. The research now reveals that advanced life can only thrive if the precipitation averages between 20 and 60 liquid water inches per year. And to meet the needs of an abundance and diversity of species, the rainfall must vary from one geographical region to another. So there are different geographical regions with different amounts of rainfall, so that some plants will thrive in areas where there's limited rainfall. Other plants will thrive in areas where there's abundant rainfall. So you have a huge variety, huge diversity. And the water cycle is affected by environmental factors for its fine-tuning. We know that excessive human activity today is affecting these environmental conditions, which then affects the water cycle, throwing it out of balance with serious consequences. The Hebrew verb asa, meaning make, in the Day 2 narrative implies that God himself designed and built Earth's atmosphere with its intricately balanced water cycle. God's separation of the waters seem a clear and direct statement of his formation of the troposphere, the atmospheric layer above the ocean, where clouds form and humidity resides, as distinct from the stratosphere, the mesosphere, and the ionosphere rising above. Now we can answer the question of the three heavens. The first heaven is the sky above. The second heaven is outer space. And the third heaven is where God's realm is. So when Paul said in 2 Corinthians 12, verses 2-4, of his vision of being transported to the third heaven, he is referring to the realm where God is. He was transported to the presence of God, which is the third heaven. Where is it? We seem to always think that it's above somewhere. So when we pray, we raise our eyes, and sometimes we look at the ceiling, and when prayers are not answered, we think that our prayers are being bounced down from the ceiling. But really, where does God reside? Everywhere around us. So we really don't need to think that our prayers bounce off the ceiling and went somewhere else and not into God's ears. So the stage now is set with light available for photosynthesis, with water available in all its form and in appropriate ratios, and with surface temperatures modulated from the changing luminosity of the sun. Now the stage is set for the next major development in the creation drama. So stay tuned. I will do day 3 as I try to unpack the creation story. And I'm the one who gains the most. I've read it so many times, but can't remember the details. And when they say there's no light, when was the light created? Day 1, day 2? So if we follow closely, read the Bible again, go through these lessons again, and then we'll give you a clearer picture, and you can explain to yourself from the scientific record, the biblical record, and you will not have doubts at all, and you will be able to explain it to other people too, instead of just saying that, oh yeah, day 1, day 2, day 3. We have a lot of educated people who are scientifically minded. They would not accept this rationale. So if you can explain from the scientific record how it coincides with the biblical record, then it would be a much more effective evangelizing tool that people, even skeptics, would say, I think so. I hope this has blessed you as it has really blessed me.